Howdy, y'all, and
Hey,
welcome
wait,
to
hang on
Drinking
one
Alone
second.
with...
Wait,
come on, what?
which Ronald McDonald character are you picking this week?
No, I wasn't doing any Ronald McDonald character. I was doing a
Hamburglar?
farmer. I was doing a farmer.
Oh, okay.
To go with the theme.
All right. Start over.
I guess the cat's out of the bag. Hey, folks, welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
I don't like the way you did that.
What?
It didn't sound very good.
I don't know what you want from me right now.
Go back to the
best
farmer.
I got. This is all you're getting.
Go back to Farmer Chris.
This is a podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Obert.
And on today's show,
We're going to talk all about pumpkin beers.
Oh, we're going right into this, huh?
well, I guess so. I don't know. You guys aren't happy with whatever I do today, so.
I'm happy with it. I just wanted to make that Ronald McDonald joke.
Oh, okay.
So I'm Todd.
Okay, and this is the best intro we've ever done. So today's episode, we're going to be covering pumpkin beers. You know,
Woo!
Yay! Going into the fall season, getting ready for our next holiday. We already covered the Spooktacular, so we're on to Thanksgiving. Getting
Everyone's favorite gourd.
Talking about everybody's favorite gourd, pumpkin.
And it should be noted that, you know, on a monthly basis, towards the end of the month, the last week of the month is going to be a themed podcast where we all try to choose a themed beer. So
Oh,
October.
that's what we're doing?
Yeah, well, it's going to come out November 1st, so first of every month. We're going to do a themed beer. This is going to be the theme for November.
As per tradition.
Yes,
Yeah.
as per tradition. November 1st will be Pumpkin Day. So I can't wait to see what beers you guys chose out of the batch.
Pumpkin Day. Oh man, what a train wreck this. Buckle in, folks.
Yeah, this has been the most interesting way to start a podcast. Just an FYI for everybody listening, the Red Sox are up 4-1 in the bottom of the seventh with 2 outs, and David Price is still on the mound.
There you go.
Wow.
A look back into the past. So,
On this week's edition of Earlier This Week in Sports.
sports no one cares about anymore. Yeah, so what have you guys been up to last week?
Well, I went to my first ever rodeo.
Wow.
Was it as bad as they say it is?
You know what? Well, I'm just excited so next time I can say, this ain't my first rodeo. No, it was great. It wasn't bad at all. No, I had a fun time. But you've been in Montana for a while and you go and you buy a Bud Light and you're like, $4? Geez, what are these stadium event prices we're talking about here?
$4.
That's considered expensive?
Oh yeah. And that was a 16 ounce too. But
Damn.
Wow.
no, the beer's pretty cheap here.
Was that in American dollars or loonies?
That was American dollars.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So
Montana pesos?
Now, there were so many interesting things about rodeos that I didn't expect going into it. Like, one of the interesting things was all of the advertising was just people riding horses around the stadium holding flags for whatever they were advertising.
Well, that's interesting. I thought you were going to say the interesting thing was all the cows, and I was going to say,
It's like, oh yeah, we want to thank our sponsor, Don K Dealership, and then just someone in a horse would ride around with a big Don K flag. Like, okay, cool. And like when they would do the national anthem, they just rode around the stadium with the American flag. But there was a bunch of cool events. All of the cattle roping and stuff. And I don't know if it was just because I was at maybe not so high level of sportsmanship at this rodeo, but I was surprised how many times they missed when they were doing the cattle roping. And it was really fast too. It'd be like they'd come out of the gate, bang, and then they would throw their lasso at them, and then they would miss, and they'd be like, "Okay, that was your chance. Next contestant."
you only get one shot at it.
Yeah, you only get one shot.
you don't just keep going until you defeat the cow.
Yeah, you don't get to reel in your lasso and try again.
It's not like a
fishing.
boss in a video game.
Yeah, no. But they had, even harder than that was they had, team roping, where one person would throw their lasso around the horns of the bull, and then the other person would then have to get their rear legs, and then they would kind of pull in opposite directions until the cow fell on the ground.
What?
It doesn't sound very nice to the cow.
It wasn't. You could tell the cows were kind of used to it. They seemed like they knew what they were doing. They knew where to go. They're like, okay.
God damn it, Steve. Okay, I guess I'll fall to the ground again.
Yeah, right?
Leads me to believe that it might be staged.
Yeah, the cows are in on it.
These folks, they believe that we're actually being tricked. No one tricks a cow.
But
The untrickable animal.
yeah, of course. It's like you can't tip them.
Well, that's because they're all inherently wealthy.
Yeah, of course. But I could definitely see, it seems like a very dangerous sport, like incredibly dangerous, because a lot of times when they would ride like the bucking Broncos or even the bulls or whatever, if they got bucked off wrong, it would just be like time to go to Trample Town on the rodeo contestants. I guess saw a couple people get stepped on pretty good by some pretty heavy animals. So props to all of the rodeo contestants who I saw.
Did you see the clowns come out?
Yeah, they didn't call them clowns though. They called them like safety something.
With like the matadors, like with like the red cape? Oh,
No red capes, but they definitely like got the bulls' attentions and stuff. But to everybody who's never been to a rodeo, I highly recommend it. Have either of you guys been to a rodeo before?
No. I figure since I live
No.
in Tennessee now, it's only a matter of time. But
It's inevitable,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
like once a year, you accidentally go to a rodeo in Tennessee.
My work was talking about inviting me down for the big Houston rodeo, which apparently is like the biggest in the country. Which
Oh, that would be awesome.
clearly based on Texas standards, it has to be big because it's in Texas. But
Yeah.
I guess it's like NRG Stadium where the Texans play.
Mhm.
It's like that entire area plus like the area around it turns into like a fun zone for the rodeo.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure Texas must have incredible rodeos. And it was funny, one other final thought was it seemed like the bulls were more famous than the rodeo riders. They were like, yeah, some of these bulls have been down to the Las Vegas Nationals and whatnot. So they were like, the bulls were a big get for this rodeo. More so than the human rodeo contestants.
So who won the rodeo?
The cows.
You know, I don't think there's an overall, because there's so many different events.
Oh,
it's like
okay.
a track and field kind of a thing where there's like,
There's no like decathlon or anything.
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Everybody had their own different contestants. And, there's like kids do, like they ride like calf type bulls and they have like the women's league or whatever as well. So they have a whole bunch of different categories. So it wasn't like there was a one overall winner, but
Oh, okay. Cool.
yeah,
Hey, that sounds like a lot of fun.
it was.
So I went to a beer festival last weekend.
Nice. Oh, yeah, you mentioned that
Yeah.
one. The Connecticut one. Well, obviously in Connecticut, but Best of Norwich or something like that.
Yeah, well, it really was the best of Montana. I just didn't call Brendan and let him know that I was in the state.
Yeah, you were just around.
No, it was the first ever beer fest in Norwich, Connecticut. It was at the Panema Mills in Tathville, Connecticut, and it blew the Mohegan Sun Beer Festival out of the water.
Well, we knew you
It
were
was-
such a big fan of that one. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one actually had local breweries like Outer Light. Even New England Beer Company was there, which was great. They had Double Fuzzy and Fuzzy Baby Ducks, so that was great. Overall, it was just really good. I spent $55, got to taste, I think there was probably 20 breweries there, plus I got 4 food tickets that allowed me to get 4 meals from 4 local Norwich chefs.
Oh wow.
Overall, it was a great
What-
experience.
For
yeah.
meals?
Yeah, like one of the meals I got was a hamburger with potato salad. The other one I got was like jambalaya. Then another one was like a grilled cheese that was from a grilled cheese truck. And then the other one was like a blood sausage burger. It was fantastic.
Wow, that sounds
Wow,
awesome.
that's like a lot of food.
Yeah. So that was for the VIP ticket. The normal entry was $45, and I thought, well, why not just spend the extra $10 and
Yeah, the VIP worked out so well for you last time, you might as well
Yeah.
keep doing it, right?
Right.
right. Well, I mean, usually there's some benefit of
Perk.
getting the VIP.
Yeah. So was it worth it this time for the extra $10?
Yes, it was definitely worth it. I would recommend never go to the Mohegan Sun Brewfest go to the Norwich Ponema Mill Beer Fest.
That's awesome.
What about you? Anything for you?
So didn't really do a ton. Like CJ is, he's a monster and he just like crawls on everything. He like has this toy that's.
Is it the cow zebra thing?
No. Well, he does have the cow zebra, but
I forget. Is that a striped cow or a spotted zebra?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, which one it is, but it's a cow.
Zebra.
But so
it's a striped cow.
He's got this like play table with that makes a
Live
lot
update.
of noise.
Live update.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. Steve Pierce just hit a home run, making it 5-1 in the top of the 8th for the Red Sox.
Oh my God! What a nail biter!
Not looking good for the elimination game here for the Dodgers.
So he's got this like table that like makes noise and stuff like that. And Dana sends me the picture that I just texted to you guys. So Tud, you may get it now. You may get it a year from now.
Yeah, we'll find out.
And
oh no, I got it.
Okay. And he's just like
he's standing on it,
standing on top of it, looking into his like playpen thing or his pack and play or whatever it's called. So he's a monster. He's like He's not quite walking yet, but he's so close, and
he's climbing on everything.
He's climbing on everything. Yeah, he's funny though. He's cracks me up. Went to a local brewery that hasn't been featured on the podcast, and it was a lot of fun. Sat down, talked to the owner, Tennessee Valley Brewing, here in Clarksville.
Oh, that's the one I went to with you, right?
Yeah. So we were the only folks in there. We went in and sat down and was talking to the owner and brewer. And I think he's got a bottle coming out soon that will be on the podcast but yeah, so great place if you ever happen to be there. So
we're at this transition point between the end of Chris's week and the start of Tud and I's week. So let's kick it off and drink some beers to Chris to celebrate us to mourn. So
yeah, there we go.
Since you're the one celebrating, Chris, why don't you kick it off and share with us what pumpkin beverage you've got for us tonight?
Okay, so. I was going down my local Kroger, I believe. I think that's where I got this. And I reached into the pumpkin patch and I pulled out this bad boy. And here we go. Ready?
You know, I gotta say, you make a lot of noise trying to open up your beers.
Ooh, smells good. It smells really good. So this is Elysian Punkachino. It's a coffee pumpkin ale.
Nice.
And actually pouring it right now, and it's dark, which is nice. I wasn't sure what to expect since it said ale. I didn't know if it was going to be like golden pouring it out, but definitely not. Definitely dark. The smell right off the bat is like pumpkin pie. Like just like you get the spices from a pumpkin pie, which I enjoy pumpkin pie quite a bit, so pretty excited about this.
My favorite pie.
Yeah, it's my wife's. It's Dana's favorite pie. So
do you get like a toasted caramel notes of coffee a little bit too at all, or just all pumpkin pie aroma?
For the most part, right on the nose, it's primarily the pumpkin pie spice that I get on the nose, but it does, say that it's a pumpkin ale with the attitude of a world-weary barista. Punkachino packs a short shot of Stumptown coffee in your pint with a shake of cinnamon and nutmeg. So it sounds delicious. It sounds exactly like the kind of beers that I like to drink, which I'm going to drink them right now.
Well, Chris is drinking. Elysian is from Seattle, hence the Stumptown reference and the world-weary barista joke.
Ha ha ha. Elysian,
Yeah,
we got you.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So, Chris.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Is it very nutmeggy?
I think I like it a lot. It's really, really good. It's really smooth. Like you do get a little bit of a weird bite after, kind of like if you were to eat something that did have a lot of cinnamon or nutmeg in it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't get a ton of coffee.
I bet you as it warms up, you're going to get more of that coffee flavor.
Yeah, I would have to imagine.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really good. It's a very solid pumpkin beer. It's a very solid beer in general. Unlike tradition, I didn't have one before the podcast. So this is the first take. I've never had this beer before. But yeah, really good. Really enjoy it. I like it a lot. If you see them, I mean, I know Elysian definitely distributes quite a bit. So if you see them, then I would grab it, especially if you're looking for a nice pumpkin-y beer.
That's an interesting looking bottle there too.
Yeah, it'll be up on the Instagram, but it's like a pumpkin, like a jack-o'-lantern, reaching out and like hugging hugging a cup of coffee. So kind of a neat label, but yeah, highly recommend.
Yeah, how strong does it taste? Like alcohol? Does it pass the punch?
Yeah, it doesn't taste very strong. It's pretty easy, and it's only 6% alcohol, so it's not anything that's going to be knocking your socks off unless you drink quite a few of them. It is brewed with lactose, which is, you see that more and more nowadays. It gives like a nice, almost fullness to the beer.
That's pretty interesting. It's a stout with lactose.
Yeah, so really good beer. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. So really, really enjoy it.
Oh, it's a pretty good rating.
Yeah, but okay, so I got to celebrate. Who wants to commiserate first?
I'll go in the middle here. All right, so this week I have Wasatch Pumpkin Seasonal. Wasatch is from Salt Lake City, and they are actually the first craft brew from Utah. And
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know how much you guys know about Utah and their beer laws, but
Is Unita from Utah?
I believe so. Yeah, I think so. But because of their Mormon heritage, they have very strict alcohol laws traditionally that I think have become a little more liberal over the years. But even though, so this is the first craft brewery, they opened in '86, and they didn't make microbrewing legal until 1988. And even to this day, most of the beers you'll find in the store are 4% alcohol.
Oh, that's that stupid rule, right?
Yeah, they make special Budweiser and other macro brews. They have a special recipe they make for Utah, and I think maybe another state or two as well. But
What's the term for that?
Lame.
yeah, I think that's what it is. But so this is a 4% ABV beer right here, and here we go. I'm gonna give it a try. You could definitely tell it's a much lighter pumpkin than what I'm used to. I think for me, the pinnacle of pumpkin beer, I don't know if you guys would agree, would be a Shipyard Pumpkinhead.
Like the most accessible pumpkin beer, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite is probably Southern Tier Pumpkin.
That's a pretty good
Well,
one.
I'll say for the record that I find that Pumpkinhead is the foundation on which I think all other pumpkin beers lay their bricks, and they did a great job establishing what a pumpkin beer should be, and this just falls a little flat. It's a little too light. Maybe it's just the 4% ABV, but there's this very, very pale looking beer. You can see right through it. Not a whole lot of flavor here, but I also want to point out this is the only pumpkin beer I've seen in Montana. I don't know if it's just not a thing here or what. I definitely haven't seen any of that Elysian Punkachino. If I find some, I'll definitely try it out. But beggars can't be choosers. And while I don't have all of my favorite New England pumpkin beers here, and this is kind of just a shadow of that, I'll drink it. So with that, I'm going to give the Wasatch Pumpkin Seasonal a 2.75 out of 5.
Oh wow! Okay, that's officially the lowest beer that's ever been on the podcast.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the weird rule I was talking about, it's actually called the 3.2 brew law, which makes it 3.2% alcohol by weight, which is equivalent to 4% ABV. That's the weird law that Utah has on its books about beer.
Ah, interesting.
Can you tell us a little bit more about it? Are there other states that have that as a law too?
There used to be more, and it's slowly rolled. It's an old rule from the Prohibition era. It's also known as low point beer, which so there's two different names. It's 3.2 or low point beer, and it's the only states that it's in there now are Kansas, Minnesota, Colorado, Oklahoma, and Utah. There are certain rules, obviously, with Colorado. They have a big craft beer scene. So
yeah, I was gonna say, I know that it's not illegal to sell beer higher than 4% alcohol in Utah, but you have to buy it in a separate liquor store. You can't buy it at the grocery store.
Right. Same thing with all the other states that I mentioned, is that they can't sell more than 4% ABV beer in grocery stores, supermarkets.
Interesting. So what do you guys think about low ABV beers in general? I guess that's kind of a broad stroke. Like, I don't know. I tend to drink a lot of
It's
beer.
kind of a waste of a beer.
You think so? I tend to drink a lot of beers that are 8% or higher.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it depends what you define as low.
Yeah, I know. But like, so what about those like sub 5% beers? Like what I don't know. What do you guys think?
Like I'm okay with drinking them, but at the same time, it's kind of a waste of drinking a beer, waste of drinking the calories, waste of spending the money. Like when you look at, for example, Treehouse, and they sell their 4.8% Pilsner. It's not worth me going to stand in line for 3 hours for their beer.
Right. Well, so I think there's a distinction to be made, though, between low in alcohol and low in taste. And I've already expressed my love of session IPAs to you guys, which I think does a perfect job of balancing a flavorful beer with low alcohol. And for me, I love a low alcohol beer that I can go out all day and drink in the backyard or whatnot without really feeling like I've had one too many. So I'm for them. There's a time and a place, but I like low ABV beers.
Yeah, I think I have to have one that is really well brewed with really good taste. So, and that sounds really dumb, but there was one that I had just last week when I went to Tennessee Valley, and it was his mango raspberry ale. And I know Tud's not a big fruit beer guy, but I enjoy it. I enjoy that kind of stuff. And it was delicious. It was one of the best beers he had on the menu. So I asked him what his inspiration was, and he just was like, well, I wanted to brew an ale, and I had raspberry and I had mango. So that's what I made.
Oh, well, there you go.
I was like, oh, cool. But, it was only like 3.5%, which is pretty darn low, but it was delicious. It was really good, really refreshing. So kind of going along with like what Obert said, like having those beers that taste good are refreshing, but you don't feel like you drank all day. So I can get behind them as long as they're done well. And Tud is just like disgusted with us that we would even think about drinking a beer.
Yeah, Tud's like more alcohol, more better.
No, it's if you're gonna drink the beer, I mean, go for the beer. Don't drink water, bread in it.
Anyway, Tud, what are you drinking tonight? Show us what beer you got. Pumpkin beer.
So I am drinking Southern Tier's Warlock, which is an Imperial Pumpkin Stout. It's limited. It's my favorite pumpkin stout that's out there. It's 8.6% ABV. This is 2018 vintage. I can probably even get you down to the month and the day it was packaged on, but I don't think anybody really cares.
No.
Southern Tier's got a really cool slogan about this beer called "Why the hell not?" So, why the hell not?
Okay, so they call it "Why the hell not?" because clearly they just went all out with this brew. So, how does it taste? Does it taste like "Why the hell not"?
No, it tastes absolutely delicious. This is probably my second favorite pumpkin beer out there, besides Southern Tier's pumpkin beer. I wanted to go with something a little bit heavier, a little bit more full tonight, so I went with a stout. It's got a lot of hints of pumpkin. It doesn't really have any other flavor besides pumpkin. It's very dark. I'd probably give it a 4.25 out of 5. It's honestly delicious. The warmer it gets, the more pumpkin it gets. There might be a hint of cinnamon, but not too much to really notice. Yeah, it's just overall just a great beer.
Nice. So hey, I have another question for you guys. How do you feel about the cinnamon sugar rim on pumpkin beers?
No.
All for it.
Yeah, I'm with Chris on this one, especially like I said, the pumpkin head. The Shipyard. It's with a cinnamon sugar rim. Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I used to full disclosure, I used to love Shipyard Pumpkinhead. It used to be my favorite pumpkin beer. And then
it's a foundational pumpkin beer.
And then I had Southern Tier's Pumpkin, and everything was changed.
Change your life.
Yeah. It tastes so much more like pumpkin than Pumpkinhead does. It is the king of pumpkin beers.
It tastes more like the actual pumpkin and not like the pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
It's the king of the pumpkin patch.
It's the great pumpkin. So I just wanted to take a little bit of time and enlighten everybody about the pumpkin ale as it stands in the brewing world. I was surprised to find out that the brewing of beer with pumpkin in the United States dates back all the way back to 1771, which is
It's a long time ago.
a lot longer than I would have guessed.
Older than America.
Yeah. But the first commercially brewed pumpkin ale was from Buffalo Bill's Brewery in Hayward, California, and that was in the 1980s. So, you went 200 plus years of just small batch pumpkin ale. Oh, whoa. So the recipe that they used at Buffalo Bill's Brewery was actually written by George Washington, based on brewing studies made by George Washington. Okay, I lied about all that stuff.
That's cool.
So basically, the entire country has been basic white bitching it up the entire time.
Right. Basically, you can say that George Washington was the original basic white bitch. So
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks.
it's official.
I'm gonna write my PhD thesis for my history doctorate on how George Washington was the original basic white bitch.
Does anybody else get the feeling that, back in the day they were just like, oh, here's all this vegetables and fruit and screw it, can we make alcohol out of it?
Yeah, that's really the most important question.
Yeah, right. They were probably like, they say this is good for us. What's the best way to consume it? In a beer.
I mean, vodka is essentially potato juice, right?
Right?
It's vodka.
Well, the story about Johnny Appleseed bringing apples all across America, and you might not know this, but that was really popularized because you could make Applejack and other hard cider with apples. So that was the reason to bring apples across the country, was not to eat delicious, Red Delicious or whatever the modern variants we have today. They were like the sour crab apples, and they were just mostly good for fermenting into alcohol.
Huh, interesting.
Fact 2 of the pod. Yeah.
Those damn founders and, the Westward Ho people.
It's all about. It's what it's all about. Alcohol.
Drunk.
Right. They started the beer craze.
So I wanted to bring back my fun segment of Why I'm Cranky, hashtag not sponsored by Stony Creek, and tell you guys about an event that happened while I was at Fox Farm Brewery on Thursday.
The podcast's favorite brewery.
Yes. So they released their annual stout called Witch Meadow.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. Like, I was not able to get anybody to go mule for me, and my family hates me. So, family, if you're listening, I don't know why you hate me so much. Continue.
So I was there. They opened at 2:00. It was very. I expected it to be busy. So I get there at 2:00. The line's already around the building, which is fine. So I get in line, and this guy behind me, like directly behind me, is just sitting there the entire time, cursing up a storm, saying, "Who the hell are all these people in front of him?" Apparently, this guy thought that Fox Farm was like his own personal brewery, and nobody else could ever go there or drink their beer or has ever loved their beer as much as this guy has. And literally just cursing out people, saying, why are all these people in line? And who are these people? And where are they for every other beer release? And I just wanted to turn around and tell that guy, dude, you're not the only guy who's ever come to Fox Farm. You're not the only guy who's ever loved Fox Farm. Calm the fuck down, sit down, and shut up. Obviously, I wasn't going to do that because I wasn't going to get into a fight with a guy in a beer line because I also wanted a beer myself. But
it would be weird if he sat down in the line too.
I hate this like elitist crap that people try to pull with breweries. You're not the only person who loves the brewery. Sure, you may be there every week, just like I am, but there's no reason for you to act like that, and it makes other people around you uncomfortable. And just to all the people out there, don't act like that in public. Be adults. Be normal.
Right, and like, I was, and granted I was in Tennessee and I didn't have to sit in the line, but when I found out, when you were telling us that it was packed and, the line was huge, I was like, you know what? Good. They deserve it. Like, they're one of the best new breweries in the country, and they deserve to have the notoriety that they do. So, you know what? Fuck that guy.
Right? I mean, they instead of being angry, you should be like, oh, wow, this is really good for the guys who own Fox Farm because that means that they're finally making it, and this is the one beer that they come out with every year, once a year, where they're going to get a line because it's just so good. And for everybody out there, just so you know, Witch Meadow is a stout. It's fantastic. It'll probably be featured on this podcast at some point in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, I still have a couple bottles, I think 2 bottles of the 2017, and I think I'm getting one bottle of the regular 2018. So we'll see. I don't
So you
think I'm
found
getting
somebody to get you a regular one.
just the regular
Yeah,
one.
and he
Yeah.
might be on the podcast right now. No.
Shout out to Evan, my boy Evan. He texts me. He's like, "Hey, did Tud get you Fox Farm?" I'm like, "No, Tud's a bitch." And then and he was like, I got a bottle coming your way." And I was like, "You are the man." So I have one bottle now. If anybody has the barrel aged one that they want to send down south, please let me know. Follow the email on that one.
So, Tud, what's the score update? What's going on with the Red Sox?
So it is 5-1 in the bottom of the ninth with no outs. Chris Sale just came in the game to pretty much lock it down and ensure victory and therefore a World Series championship for the Boston Red Sox. I'm really excited. I'm just sitting here pretty much just watching it unfold in front of me. It's awesome that Chris Sale's going to be able to close out this game for us, and he's going to be the one on the mound as he's been our ace all season. It's been just incredible. This entire team's been incredible. They won 108 games, and I honestly was really nervous after Friday night's debacle, where it went, till 3:30 in the morning through 18 innings, and the Red Sox just pretty much exhausted their entire bullpen / starting pitching rotation for the next couple of days. I'm actually shocked that they were able to pull this out.
Well, I guess the Dodgers exhausted all their pitchers too, right? I mean, that's how it works.
They have more bullpen depth than the Red Sox do. The Red Sox chose to bring a lot of starting pitching into the postseason versus bringing bullpen, which the Sox didn't really have a bullpen anyways to begin with the entire season. So we've been literally using starting pitchers as our bullpen during the playoffs.
Clearly a terrible choice.
Well, yeah, it's been great, and Alex Cora we trust apparently because the dude's just been fire. It's his first year as a manager, and he's going to win the World Series, and he's been just great.
How many outs are left in the game?
2.
2 outs.
Two
All
outs.
Right. That's crazy.
Yes, I will cut back in for a live update once this ends, if it ends, hopefully.
Yeah, some kind of catastrophic meltdown.
And if it is, you'll hear it live 4 days later on the podcast.
Live 4 days later.
Exactly.
In the rears.
Yeah. So Ted, I'm not a baseball fan, as you know. So this is potentially their third World Series win since 2004, right?
Fourth.
Fourth?
Fourth.
Oh, okay. I missed one. See?
04, 07, 2013, and then this would be their fourth.
2013? Wow. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Oh.
Their first year as John Farrell as being their manager, they won.
So basically, they just have to keep switching managers. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
That is apparently that's the thing is the first year managers win championships for the Red Sox now. Yeah, it's been a period of dominance for the Sox. They've just been good. They've got a lot of homegrown talent. They've paid a lot of people for the spots that they weren't able to bring up through their farm system. It's been great. It's been a really good time to be a Boston fan in general. I'm not a Patriot fan, but if you're a Patriot, Red Sox, Celtics fan, and Bruins fan, you've seen a lot of championships over the past 15 years.
Yeah, you New Englanders are getting spoiled over there.
Yes, us New Englanders. It's funny that you get to say that now.
Bunch of losers.
Oh, live update. And the Red Sox are officially 2018 World Series champions. 5-1. They're storming the mound. They might actually kill Chris Sale because he's a very slight guy. Awesome. The look on the Dodgers fans' faces is priceless because they're in LA. So it's great. Suck it, Dodgers fans.
You heard it here first. So, okay, don't know baseball. I know he's a pitcher, but Chris Sale, who is he? Like, where's he from? Like, how do you take my name? That kind of stuff.
Okay. So he originally he's the Red Sox ace, which means that he is our number one starting pitcher.
I knew that part. Well,
okay.
I knew what ace meant is what I should say.
Okay. So he came to us from the White Sox. He kind of went a little nuts on the White Sox, and before one of his games he was supposed to start, he basically took a knife and slashed up his jersey and basically demanded a trade. So the Red Sox traded for him 2 years ago, and he's been with us ever since. He's a fiery guy. He's probably one of the best pitchers in baseball, probably right behind Kershaw, which is the Dodgers ace, as being one of the top pitchers. Him, Verlander, Kershaw. they're kind of all in the same group. There's a few other pitchers. Max Scherzer's another one that could all be lumped into that group. He's just one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Oh, okay, cool. So basically, do you think he's just the same Sox that he's always been, but he's just a little bit more angry now?
Oh, because he went from the White Sox to the Red Sox?
Yeah, see? There it is. Hey.
I got the joke. I just didn't want to check.
It wasn't funny.
That's a creative question.
Just wasn't good.
He just changed colors a little bit.
Well, cool. Congratulations, Red Sox fans.
Time to buy a hat.
Time to buy a hat. If she's listening, my old boss / really good friend Jen is going ecstatic right now. So, congratulations, Jen, if you're listening. But yeah, so
She's probably less ecstatic now than she was 4 days ago.
I don't know. Maybe not. She's a big time fan too. So
this is just a shout out to everybody who always enjoys our live sports updates 4 days from now.
Yeah.
Oh man, one of these days you'll hear an actual sports update.
We just have to start predicting the future.
Right. So congratulations, Sox fans, but unfortunately our time is coming to a close, which of course means it's time to hoist our big frosty mug of wisdom. And does anybody want to go first in particular?
Chris, why don't you go?
Yeah, have at it.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm beginning to hoist the mug. So my handle.
We'll slide it over the table to you so you can hoist it first.
So my handle this week is actually something that's made mine and my wife's life really, really easy, or a lot easier, and that's called InstaCart. I'd never heard of it before now, but basically what it is an online shopping service. So you can go online and your local grocery store, you can go in and type out a shopping list of what you want. And there's actually like personal shoppers that go around the store and shop for you. It's pretty awesome. We'd never used anything like it before, but it's so nice, especially when you have a 10-month-old who, happy 10-month birthday, CJ, because he's exactly 10 months old today.
Happy birthday, CJ.
But it's really nice to know that we don't have to get CJ ready, put him in the car seat, drive, and do all this stuff. It makes it a lot easier. You just go online, order your groceries, pay a small fee, because it really is a pretty small delivery fee and shopping fee, and all your groceries show up at your front door. It's pretty awesome. It's made it so we don't leave the house as much, but it's still pretty awesome.
Are there things that you would buy if you were at the store but you're too embarrassed to put on your Instacart list?
No, but it definitely makes it so you can't do those compulsive buys where
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing if you're trying not to eat 5 pounds of gummy bears, because if you want to eat 5 pounds of gummy bears, then it's a bad thing. But you're driving, you're walking down an aisle and you see those gummy bears staring at you. It's hard to look away. But Instacart.
How many times have you eaten 5 pounds of gummy bears?
In one sitting?
No, I mean, how many times has this been an issue for you?
It used to be a big issue.
How many times has that bag ended up in your cart is the question.
Yes.
A lot more a few years ago than now, but still every once in a while I'm like, I love myself some gummy bears. So
I hear you. I get those cravings every once in a while.
yeah, I'm on a weird gummy bear kick right now, but I limit myself to the 1 ounce bags. So you pay $1 and you get an ounce of gummy bears. The only thing is you have to eat so many of them to get to 5 pounds. So
well, it is that magical time of year when candy doesn't count for calories. Known as Halloween.
Yes.
So.
I read that in a science notebook once.
A reputable podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to hand the frosty mug of wisdom over here?
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can. Let me see. I'll slide it over to you. Did you hear that at all?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
I did. All right.
It's almost like I was there live in person as that got passed.
So I'm really going to put the emphasis on wisdom today in the frosty mug, because what I'm going to recommend is just a little life pro tip. I recently bought a bunch of furniture for my new place, and I was going on Wayfair to buy it all. I don't know if have you guys heard of that website? Been on that website?
I heard it from you, I think.
Yeah, I've seen it before. I don't know if I've ever bought it.
They have lots of television commercials. Yeah. But I had a bunch of stuff picked out. I was about to hit checkout. And before I did, I found out from the internet that if you're going to buy stuff on Wayfair, what you should do is do a reverse image search for the furniture. And you can find the same exact stuff on Amazon for like 20% cheaper. So my mug of wisdom I want to share with you all is you're buying things on Wayfair. Instead, search for them via Google reverse image search, find them on Amazon, and buy it cheaper there.
So how do you do a reverse image search on Google?
All right, you go to images.google.com.
Okay.
Are you going to images.google.com?
Well, now I will. I was waiting for you to describe me some.
No, I'm going to walk you through this together.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll see it looks like a regular Google search bar, but there's a little picture of a camera, and you can click on it and you can click search by image.
Okay.
And then from there, you can either paste the URL of an image or upload an image, and then it'll search the internet for pictures.
Huh.
Yeah.
That is a life pro tip right there.
Yeah. So if you're ever in a situation where you need to find out if you're being catfished and the woman you're talking to is actually a guy in Nigeria, you can reverse image search his or her picture.
Happens all the time to me.
Yeah, I'm sure. We've all been there.
Happens. They get you every time.
Yeah.
Those damn Nigerian princes.
Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine if it was an actual Nigerian prince who was trying to catfish you.
Wait,
He's got the millions. He's just looking for love.
Yeah, he just wants somebody to love him for not his money.
I missed it. Is a Nigerian prince the one that's catfishing, or is
Yes.
Tud upset
Yeah.
that it isn't a Nigerian prince?
No. The Nigerian prince is trying to catfish me.
Oh, okay. So he's
Right.
like, "Look at me,
Yeah.
I pretty lady," and then you find out
Exactly.
he's a billionaire.
Right, because he just wants
Right.
somebody to love him for not his money. So he's a poor Tennessean woman.
Yeah. Maybe.
All right. I'm going to hand off the mug to Todd.
Okay. So my handle this week is
Wait. Slide that
There-
along the table to you, Todd. There.
I almost dropped it off the bar there. So my handle this week is going to be Red Dead Redemption 2. It came out on Friday. I've been playing it since Friday. I'm 17% through the game. It's fantastic. Red Dead Redemption is probably my favorite game from the Xbox 360, PS3 era, and it's back on Xbox One. It's fantastic. I recommend everybody, whether you've played Red Dead Redemption or not, go pick it out. It's like Grand Theft Auto meets the Wild West, but it's not as crazy.
Not as crazy as Grand Theft Auto?
Correct. It's not like
Or not as
it's
crazy
not like
as
as
the Wild West?
no, it's not like as like off the wall. Like it's actually more realistic than Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
It's like a spaghetti western in a game.
Yeah, I was actually looking it up the other day because I wanted to buy it from Amazon because you get like 20% off deal if you pre-order it. But it was like the day before it was released, so they didn't offer that pre-order anymore. So I was like, as much as I want it, I'm gonna have to wait. But I'm pretty jealous. It looks amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic, and it's a lot of fun.
Do you have a horse?
I do have a horse. You get a horse as in the,
What's its name?
right now. I think its name is Tennessean Whiskey.
Shout out to Chris.
It's a standard name that comes with the horse in the game.
Nice.
But I just recommend everybody go out there, buy it. I mean, Rockstar probably doesn't need your money because they've probably already sold millions of copies. So at this point, I'm just pretty much just telling you guys just to go do it because it's a really awesome game. Brendan, I know that you're more of a PC guy. I don't know if it's out for PC yet. But
It is not. Yeah.
You should pick it up. When it does come out, you should pick it up.
Yeah, 6 months from now. That'll be my handle. Guys, I finally got Red Dead 2. I want to talk about it now.
Talk about it now.
Before we get to the end of today's episode, I do want to put out to all of our listeners, please send us a suggestion for the beginning of next month for what type of beer we should all try. Please try to pick either a style or a flavor, and the three of us will go out in our respective areas and attempt to find that. Submit that to our email, dawfpodcast@gmail.com. And as always, please feel free to reach out to us with any suggestions, tips, comments, questions that you have to us. The more questions we get, the more we can do the mailbag segment.
Yeah, so let me ask a question on behalf of our listeners here. Are they sending in end of November Thanksgiving themed beers, or are they sending in beginning of December Christmas themed beers?
Well, if we look at the calendar, it's going to be the
Or
so,
are they sending in Black Friday themed beers?
So it will be released. So that episode will be released on December 6th. Therefore, they should release not Thanksgiving beer.
They should recommend Christmas beers.
Like a December, I guess a quote unquote December themed beer.
Yes.
Guys, you know what my favorite Christmas beer is? It's the Mad Elf from Trogs.
Oh, that is really good. Hashtag shout out to Trogs. I shouted at them on Twitter the other day, hoping to get some free beer. They never responded.
Why is that a shout out? Why do they deserve our recognition?
Because I'm hoping that the more they hear about us shouting them out, the more they'll give me free beer.
Because it's like he wanted to shout out and get an echo, but he just shouted into the void and nothing bounced.
Trogs wasn't even there for the sound waves to bounce off of.
But yeah, Mad Elf is a fantastic Christmas beer. With that, thank you guys for listening. We'd like to thank the following breweries for providing the delicious beers today. I'm going to go first with Southern Tier for providing Warlock, the Imperial Pumpkin Stout.
I'd like to thank Elysian for Punkachino.
And Wasatch Brewery for their pumpkin seasonal ale.
As always, please make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Untapped, and any other social media at DAWF Podcast. Please make sure you follow the email, #follow the email at dawfpodcast@gmail.com. Please send your general thoughts, questions, and suggestions to our poll. We're going to throw up a poll on Instagram as well for people to vote on what our next special episode should be. Please make sure you give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever else you listen to your podcasts. And remember, I'm Tud.
My name's Chris.
I'm Obert. And don't forget it.
My name's Chris.
And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
Oh my god.
Let's go, Sox!
It's over. You don't have to go them anymore.
Still have to go.
We've already done the going.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Let's go.